Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Idea set number 40487 Sailboat Adventure. This has 330 pieces, 2 minifigures. It's recommended for ages 12 and up. And this was a gift with purchases of $200 or more in August 2021. The 2 minifigures in this set are a man and woman, just an unnamed couple, and they're both awesome, just generic city minifigures. I really like this figure's hairpiece, that color for the ponytail. I feel like I haven't seen it in a little while. You've just got the single-sided face here, no alternate, and she is wearing a life jacket, which is a pretty nice piece to get, and if you pop that off, you can see some nice kind of like sailor pattern clothing underneath. The man has a nice face print. I feel like I haven't seen that before. It's definitely not as common as some other ones. He's also wearing striped sailor clothing, and he does have a binocular piece as an accessory. So let's pop his head off too. These heads are actually kind of hard to remove. But underneath, he's got a really nice torso print. I don't know if these are new or not. I don't really keep up to date with generic torso prints, but it's pretty nice. Before we get to the sailboat itself, we have this really nice diorama with dolphins jumping out of the water. These are done in sand blue, and I really love this because it looks very dynamic because you can pose the dolphins. So you've got like a couple of different just like transparent panel pieces to make it look like they're really leaping out. And then crystal pieces are used as like water splash. And then you've also got trans clear pieces used to just show kind of like the frothing of the water. I think that's really clever, and again, this just looks very dynamic, and it's nice to get 2 dolphins in one set. The sailboat itself is like obscenely large for a gift with purchase set, mainly because of that sail, which is completely brick built and not like cloth, which is what makes this set stand out, because I feel like a lot of times, LEGO would just do something cloth there. So let's start to zero in on some of the finer details, because I think that this is a really great display piece. The ship is resting on a similar water base to the dolphins, again with a lot of trans clear pieces to kind of show like the water being disturbed. On this side, you do have an anchor as well. Right now, it's fixed in a static position. You can just like remove the chain if you want, and then you could cast it out. But this is like a model that's purely for display, so you probably aren't really going to want to move that around too much. I really like the gold detailing on here. I love the way the hull is built up, first of all, like with the dark tan, like curved kind of like shell pieces. But then we have some really nice pearl gold details and drum lacquered gold details. I will say right off the bat, though, I don't like the mix of those. I wish that there was just one solid gold color, because I think it looks super awkward to have like the fancier drum lacquer next to like the cheaper pearl gold. At the back of the ship, you do have a life preserver, which is a nice detail. And then you've also got like this stick that you can move from side to side. I'm guessing this is to turn the sail. I thought it was for the rudder at first, but this ship has no rudder, and I guess it would make a lot more sense for it to be turning the sail instead. But something that I love that really surprised me was all of these printed pieces on like the deck. These are all just like printed wood panels made in like this dark orange color. I'm sure they've been in other sets before. I know that pattern has like appeared on reddish brown pieces before, but it was just a very nice surprise to get so many printed pieces. At the front, the flex tube railings kind of come together, and then you attach this like little kind of like adjustable thing to like the very end of these poles. This was a pain in the butt to build because like this like front of the ship, it's like very loosely attached here. And so it just broke off like 5 times while I was trying to put these rods on the end of the flex tubes, because flex tubes, like they're a lot harder to put into bar-sized things, like into bar-sized holes than like stiff rods. So that was honestly really, really irritating. And again, this whole build was kind of annoying. Like, it wasn't very fun. It's very like meticulous and detail oriented. That's not to say it's a bad build experience, but this set is clearly for display and nothing else. Just like, it's just like the way it's built. Like, you really feel that. I like the stickers at the front. I wish it was printed, but I mean, you can't have everything. This ship is named the Eloise after the fan designer's daughter, which I think is a very nice detail, so I really like that. There is a cabin in the center of the ship, and this is where I really hate that combination of pearl gold and drum lacquer. It just looks really, really awkward. I'll move the sail out of the way a little bit, but it just looks super awkward to have like the drum lacquer right next to the pearl gold, because they're two such different colors. And you can start to see into the cabin from back here, but you can access it pretty easily by just removing this entire upper section, which is built separately. I do like the little window details on the side, and those are hollow studs, so you can see like right through them. But so I feel like the ship is kind of supposed to be like micro scale a little bit, because this cabin doesn't look very large from the outside, although it can fit a minifigure. But I don't like the interior here. The interior looks very unfinished, and this is by far the worst part of the entire ship. I think like you could just act like that's a bed, right? Like you can just lie a minifigure down and you can put the cabin back over them. But it doesn't feel like a very nice space. It's not like on city boats. And so again, I really would have liked to see like just tiles, even just like laid down along the sides or something, to kind of finish it off better. So that's what that looks like. You can like barely fit a minifigure in there. I'm sure if I sat them down and did stuff with their arms, I'd actually get them to fit inside with the roof closed. But yeah, as someone that loves interior spaces, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more like work put into that cabin, but that's not a huge deal. It still looks great, and it can still basically fit someone. Now for the actual sail. Again, this is built up using just regular bricks, it was very interesting, honestly, including like a lot of large bricks. So this is like a pretty heavy sail. I don't think it looks the best. Like I kind of would have preferred cloth, because I mean, you can see like the seams between all of the bricks. And again, just actual bricks, it's just a little strange. So you can turn this, as you can see, and you do have, whoops, I broke off the front of that ship where it's like very delicate, but you do have these strings at the corners. I really like having like, you know, actual rigging, but the strings do seem a little bit awkward. And the other awkward thing is that you can really like kind of like move these separate sections of the sail. They don't really like stay straight. They move around a lot, like too much for me. I know like you're supposed to be able to move the sail, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think sailboats are supposed to have sails that are like split in two different parts. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know enough about boats, but I would have preferred cloth instead of actual brick built pieces here. And there's one last look at the build with the two minifigures on the boat. There's not a ton of room there. There's like just barely enough room to fit both of them, but it's like you can't even stand someone up there because they would be hit by the front of the sail. Here are the extra pieces. Here's the nice and tall box for this set. I really love the art of these gift with purchase ideas boxes, a lot like the vintage car. The background settings are just really, really nice. Got some minifigures on top. You do have another nice image of the boat on the side. And then at the back, it just gives you the dimensions. It doesn't even try showing you the interior of the cabin or anything. The instruction manual looks even prettier than the box, you know, because the art is widened on here. But there's no ad for other Lego sets. There's just an explanation of how Ideas works. So that's what would happen if you stood a minifigure up there. She's getting knocked in the head by that sail right into the dolphins. But overall, I think that this is a fantastic gift with purchase set just because of its size. I mean, it's a good build. There are some really finicky parts that irritate me. Like that's like the last thing you build, and it breaks off so much. This broke off like twice more just while filming this. And so I really hate the way that that's built. And again, because it's like the last thing, it was not a nice way to end the build. But this set is like a very nice display piece. I'd say the biggest issue is that it is a gift with purchase set at all. Like I said, this is obscenely large for a gift with purchase set. This would be a $30 or $40 set easily if it was like being sold at retail. And I think it should be sold at retail. It is a good set, and I feel bad that it's locked behind a $200 paywall where a lot of people will never be able to get it. So, I mean, I like giant gift with purchase sets like this, especially because I can actually afford to get like every single one of them. But a lot of people can't afford that, and so I feel like Lego should just step away from making gift with purchase that's this big and just sell this. Like, what do they have to lose by selling this for $40 instead of making it a free gift? I think a lot of people would buy it, and I think a lot of people would love it. So that's how I feel about this set. Let me know what you guys think about it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.